What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Happy Tuesday, the 30th of December. Welcome into the stream. Hope you're all doing well. It is that time again where we're going to get into all things cryptocurrency, macroeconomics, you name it. We're going to be talking about it in tonight's live stream. So I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're excited. Hope you're bullish. And yeah, I hope you brought your pens and paper because we've got quite a bit to get through tonight. Quite a bit to walk and talk through. Not too much in terms of, I guess, the nitty gritty of just the day-to-day operations of this market, but there's way more as a holistic view. And I think now we should be looking at 2026. We'll talk about what's happened in the charts that's getting me a little bit kind of, wound up a little bit for 2026. If you haven't been catching my update videos, then you should. And we'll get into the Federal Reserve minutes that we did get today. So where's the Fed at right now? Obviously, they're going to be the big drivers in the markets. They're certainly going to be a pivotal role into 2026 that certainly we need to be very close to. And, obviously we will kind of break down all of that in the channel as well. So I got papers but no pen. Mark Noby, what's going on? As always, though, do me a quick favor as you walk in, smash up the like button to a brand new all-time high. If you're brand new to the channel, you haven't already hit the subscribe button, consider doing so. We break down the markets, we talk crypto, we bring you the latest projects, all of that right here on the 2-Bit Crypto channel. So yeah, it's a quiet day in the cryptocurrency YouTuber space, shall we say. It's very quiet out there. Lots of people are just getting through the holidays, waiting to kind of get into 2026, which I think aligns to market sentiment right now. It feels sluggish at the end of this year, but we'll get into kind of what's going on. I want to sort of double down on something that we haven't really touched on. So we'll look at what the markets told us last night. How did that then play out into what's happened today? And we'll just take a bit of a recap, which I thought would be good fun just to see where they are. And again, I'll talk about that trade that I took. I did close that trade, that BTC long that I took at 87,400. Did close that trade out at around, we pumped today, didn't we, on the market open around, I think we wicked to about 89,000, something like that. I closed it out there. So decent little trade. I think I posted it on X, about 20%, something like that. Nothing super crazy. But anyway, as always, we appreciate you guys for coming in. We'll get into it in a second. What's up? Let's go to the moon together. I'm down for it. I am down for it. Okay, let's get into it and let's talk about what's going on in the markets. I'm going to try and bring you over here as well, as always, TikTok, just because I think you guys need to see the chart. And I think now I can sort of see what's going on-ish, which should let me... Does that work? Or maybe it's... Oh, my God. Oh, my gosh. There. How was that, TikTok? That feels like it. It's very close to the edge of my desk, but feels like you're all right. Feels like you're okay. All right, good stuff. So we'll talk a bit about the charts, then I want to get into a little bit more of the stuff that's coming out today. Hopefully you guys can all hear me, etc., etc. So where are we at right now? Well, this isn't kind of what's happened, but what's interesting is we were talking about this move yesterday. If you remember, we spoke about this kind of pattern that was playing out within the charts. And I think you have to negate some of this movement here. So these kind of higher time frames, these wicks up, that really is just liquidity hunting. And many people believe it's manipulation. You'll have seen loads of people posting on YouTube, posting on X, like, oh, manipulation is running rife. It's the exchanges again. They're trying to liquidate everyone's positions. But, we've seen a couple of these key things. I think what's important to reference here, though, is we need to finish green on the day. For me, that's an important bit. And again, what we now start to build is a structure where we can say, well, look, at this upper range, we are now starting to confirm that this is a really important pattern that we've got playing out. So we've confirmed the downtrend here. So this bottom line, the baseline, if you like, of this, this flag, we're now confirming that the top is actually a significant level of resistance. And all you have to do is look at how many times we've kind of touched it and then potentially bounced off. So you can see here, we wick through this 4 times before coming back in. And what's important to reference here, though, is we did actually therefore see the decline all the way back down. You can see here that we confirm the bottom by trending this 5 times, and then we push all the way back to the upside. So we can confirm these 2 lines are pretty solid on this pattern that's playing out right now. So we are in a very, very pivotal moment, which either tells us that we're going to see this breakdown right now and potentially go lower, or we could see this upside move. Now, many of you will have sort of been here before. We talked about this upper range. Again, for me, this is like confirmation the bull market's back on, all right? We're not going to get there just yet. We have to kind of understand where that's going to go. And in order to do that, you kind of take this move here. So this would essentially, man, my camera being there is like super annoying. But essentially what we're looking for is what is, oh my God, what am I doing here? I was like, what is happening here? Like, why is this not doing what I wanted to do? So again, here we go. Look, this is kind of, but the potential move will be across from here. So you can see if we take this move here, this is kind of where we are. This could give us potential downside break, if we were to see this, which takes us down to that kind of 78,000, which, we've sort of discussed this lower range level. Again, if you think, well, maybe we break down from where we are right now, takes us to around that 70, 78.3, 70, 70K, pretty much bang on the money here. If we were to break down to the upside, then we are absolutely starting to retest the lower end of 97.5K, right? Which I think, again, is important. If we were to say get a pump tomorrow, then we absolutely perfectly, look at this, almost perfectly hit the bottom of this range here at 99,162. So this is why I'm saying I think right now this is a really, really important moment. What you have got, though, and we obviously need to be mindful of this, is relatively low liquidity that's going to be pretty challenging to move this market. So we're going to need some confirmational breakouts. You're going to need something that moves with us, whether that's ETF volumes, bullish news. Obviously, we got Metaplanet buying more Bitcoin today. So, these kind of catalysts, I feel like you need a couple of things. So positive inflows on ETFs, maybe a Sailor buy, maybe a Metaplanet buy, maybe another, Bitmine acquisition of Ethereum, like some big catalyst that's going to continue to push. Because what we do know is there is a pretty big sell wall right now at around this kind of 89,000 range. So in order to kind of break through this, then we do need to get there. Now, I did think it was worthwhile just touching really quickly on this, which we talked about yesterday, and we sort of, discussed the potential of what the markets were going to do and how this was all going to play out. TikTok, I'm just going to move you back over here right now because you are sort of in my way a little bit. So let's talk a little bit about kind of where this gets to, and I guess what could come next when it comes to this market. So if you remember, we said, watch out, the kind of Japanese Asia markets looked relatively quiet. The FTSE was up a little bit. We thought we'd get a little bit of a move on the UK and European markets. What's going on, Vern? And then we thought the US markets would end up being relatively flat. Potentially the S&P was looking like it's going to rally down, and we thought maybe that was going to push the markets. Well, what did we actually get? Pretty much exactly that. So again, you can see here, what do we get? Well, this is the early hours of the morning. Asian markets didn't really do too much. We went into the European markets that pushed the price up, and then the US markets dumped us back down again, all right? So what's important here to reference, though, holding up some key levels of support as we kind of walk through this. So we'll discuss this a little bit more. And this was kind of the trade that I talked about yesterday, this exact move that I took on BITUNIX. Again, link in the description if you're interested in getting involved in this. But I did trade this, and I spoke about this yesterday. So I told you guys about my entry level. I told you that I added a bit more margin at the drop when it dropped back down. And then we kind of, walked this trade through. So you can see here, this trade actually worked out pretty well. Not a huge amount, but turned out to be a decent one that we got overall on a solid move as we sort of close there. So that was a 20x long leverage that I took for that move. Pretty much playing exactly what we got here. So we said we might get a similar pattern. Well, look, it played out perfectly to almost the exact moment in time. Peak coming a little bit early in the Asian markets, but look, this played out absolutely on the money. And again, you can see here how it kind of wicked up across there in line to some of these key things. Now, you can see here a little bit in terms of where did the concern come in and where did the markets kind of, shit the bed a little bit? Well, they came in on the Fed minutes, which we'll discuss in a minute. And you can see here, look, we just got some really flat news. Commodities were at, generally flat. Silver skyrocketing on the back of the kind of whole, markets not being a problem, etc. Currencies, I don't know if Craig got us in a bit of a yen update, but, that's kind of where we got to. And I think we'll look at the pre-markets. We'll sort of get an idea as to where they look. But you can see kind of some of these key moves. Look, Hong Kong Stock Exchange was up well, which again is a key driver. The FTSE was up 74. So we actually had a good day in the stock market with the US markets down a little bit. All, in my opinion, down to those Federal Reserve minutes. Now, some of you will be saying, well, Tubit, your title to this live stream is not right. You said there's a big thing happening right now that people need to be aware of. Well, it is officially the potential risk that the 4-year cycle is over. Now, just to give you guys a bit of a flavor, I actually do have a video coming out about it. I don't know if it's going to land tonight, but check how sick this thumbnail is. I did this thumbnail, right? Look how cool this thumbnail is, by the way. I mean, bro, are you kidding me right now? That's an awesome thumbnail. But yeah, so the 4-year cycle, as much as people believe that ISM and all that kind of stuff, it's like, well, ISM data, blah, 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 blah. Actually, the chart's potentially going to print the fact that we are going to break the 4-year cycle. Now, again, it depends how you feel about it. It depends what you're all into. But what we can say here is that generally speaking, the 4-year cycle operates a little bit like this. You get 1, 2, 3 years of green candles followed by a year of red. 1, 2, 3 followed by red. 1, 2, 3 followed by red. History has absolutely told us the 3 previous bull market cycles have done exactly that. Why is this one different? Well, we could actually see a red candle on year 3, which is pretty interesting. So the yearly candle for for Bitcoin is potentially about to close red, which is kind of wild. And we definitely haven't seen that sort of play out really over the, you know, the sort of previous, the previous history of Bitcoin. Just to give you an idea, by the way, if we were to close green, we need to break about $96,000, right? Best thumbnail of 2025. Do you think so? Yeah. We need to break 2025. We need to break $95,000, which is plausible. It's very unlikely. All right. I think that's fair to say. It's incredibly unlikely that that happens. But this then tells us one of two things. Either the 4-year cycle is nonsense or something's changed. And that we'll kind of talk about over when we discuss the Fed minutes. Okay. We'll get into kind of why this is important and why the change may actually be coming out of the Federal Reserve versus anything to do with Bitcoin. Now, I've been talking about this for a while. Now, I must profess, I'm not going to say that I'm any sort of economist. I'm just literally someone who has been with you guys now for over 4 years. We've been together 4 and a bit years, which is kind of freaking insane to think about. But, you know, we've learned a lot over those times. And, you know, this is, I guess, experience and probably the deep research that I've been doing. If you've been keeping up to speed with all my latest videos, then this will kind of bring you up to speed. Pull your money out now. Gerardo, I saw you kind of saying that you think it's all over. BTC's rigged. Wall Street now controls the entire crypto market. BTC's going to 76K. Maybe. I mean, if it did drop, it's only another 10 G's, isn't it? When will XRP go to 80 cents? Well, I mean, I'm not sure it will, to be honest, but we'll see. Silver is looking fantastic, in my opinion. Yeah, silver is absolutely dominating right now. Obviously, there was nervousness with the banks yesterday, and now, you know, silver's just full sending, isn't it? So pretty interesting. ETFs have changed the norms. I mean, that's true. ETFs are definitely different, and they're great while they're going up, and they're not so great when they're selling. And we know they've been selling pretty aggressively over the last, you know, sort of couple of days. So, sorry, a couple of months, really. But yeah, interesting, by the way. Very, very interesting that we can kind of look at. So, given that yearly candle that's coming in, this does essentially change the 4-year cycle. So we could say within the next 36 to 48 hours, the 4-year cycle for Bitcoin is dead. It's dead. It's over. It's finito. Well, what does that then mean for 2026? And I think this is an all or nothing year. And I've sort of said this in some of my update videos. I either believe that we're going to see the most insane move in 2026 and it will be the craziest bull market that we should have got in 2025 that we ended up not getting, or it's literally just going to be a bear market. Now, I don't necessarily believe that if it is a bear market, it's going to be like the depths of crypto winter and everyone's going to freak out and everyone's going to get margin called and everyone's, you know, going to go to zero. Like, it just isn't going to end up being like that. What'll probably end up happening, in my opinion, is we'll just end up with a reasonably flat BTC year. Like, it'll probably retrace a little bit, nothing crazy. And then we may start to build back into 2027, which I haven't even looked at what's coming in 27. I mean, who really cares at this minute? But yeah, Bitcoin going to 10 cents. Let's hope so. So a lot of people are obviously keeping an eye on what might be happening with the expectation of a Q1 pullback, i.e. a pullback to the 50 SMA, so the simple moving average, which was one of the key supports all the way through the 2025, which we talked about. It aligns just broadly to the 50-week moving average as well. So many people believe that we are going to see the pullback up to this range. We probably should say that the relief rally back up. Is this a debate that it's a dead cat bounce? Is it going to be that the market's going to push back up? And where does this sit? Well, it sits around the 99,000 to 100K mark. If you look at our charts, it's pretty much aligned to exactly where we've been, which we've said, look, this for me is the bull market indicator. We should put some text in here. This is like, bull market, go, oops, oh my God, go or no go. There we go. Let's put that here. This is essentially what we're looking for. If we break above this, then we might be in some good news. If not, then it may be pretty painful. All right, just my opinion. And but I don't believe the market's going to come down. So we've talked about the structure here, the market. BTC rallying a little bit. Look, again, I think a close on a green candle would be great. I would really like us to be above the 50-week, the 20-day. Let me just put my teeth back in. The 20-day exponential moving average, which is 88,400. I'd like to see us above that. Whether we get there is probably another debate or not, but we will see. We'll probably need a little bit more macro data to give us that view. So in terms of altcoins, Ethereum holding up pretty well. Once again, looking to break this support range we need. Cardano is in trouble, which is a bit disappointing. May bounce back as well. Michael, say what's going on with Nico and Charlie? I mean, Nico, I definitely saw taking a dump today. And Charlie, I did message the dev, by the way, but it didn't come back to me around that holder account. I think it's like one of the team, if I'm dead honest, but I will let you know when they come back. But yeah, DeFi took a hit today. Pretty painful, if you ask me. pretty painful. But yeah, remind me, we'll take a look at it in the DeFi. But I did look at Nico and I was like, man, that's just a little bit annoying. May come back. I think what you've not got is, you know, a lot of movement in the market right now. It's very quiet. Look at volume. ETH sort of trading reasonably flat, but yeah, I think the other thing to think about is sentiment, as well as people coming into the market. It's just super, super quiet. So, you know, the whole DeFi meme coin space is driven by people coming in, and we're not seeing that. Solana had a decent-ish move. XRP holding up 186. Obviously, we want to see it break back above the support line. Not seeing it right now. Tim, thanks for the gifted membership. Appreciate it, Tim. Joe Shanks in the building. Welcome. You just grab yourself a gifted membership. If anyone else interested, by the way, it does get you access to our premium Discord, which again, we're absolutely getting ready to dial that up in 2026. So if you want to get involved, then let us know and let me know if you are in the Discord and we'll give you access to that as well. So shout out to everybody for that. We got a little bit on Zebeck. I know we were touching on it yesterday. Aerodrome's taking an absolute dump today, and I don't really know why. Just being dead honest, but yeah, I don't really know why. It is what it is. And then the rest of the altcoin market, not doing too much. All right, we've sort of touched on macroeconomic stuff. Silver obviously skyrocketing back up. Now you could argue this probably shows Tim with another gifted membership. Thank you, Tim. Let's get it, Tim. We've got that one. Ray 3000. Welcome in, Ray. Appreciate you. Don't forget, if you are a member, you get cool little emojis. And obviously, you do get access to that Discord as well. So let me know if you're in the Discord. If you're not, links in the description. Get in there. It's totally free. Obviously, we do have a premium service or a premium Discord that's got trade alerts, VC opportunities, and our full how-to trade guides as well. So definitely check those out. Yeah, silver getting a decent move. And futures on silver looks pretty bullish as well. So you're potentially going to see a further rally within that. And again, gold holding up on that one as well. So lots of pretty interesting stuff. Stock market pretty flat, nothing going on. Traders are super boring right now. Everything's sort of like pumps out the gate and then does generally naff all after that. You know, look at Meta, for example. It's like yeet with its latest it's just bought some sort of company. I can't remember the company, but anyway, they bought someone, trade sideways, like super boring. Doesn't matter what you look at, doesn't matter what chart you're looking at. They're all just kind of pump out the gate and then sit boring. So stock market, super boring right now. Okay. Let's get into a little bit on the Fed minutes. I think it's important that we break this down and we sort of walk through, I guess, a little bit as to what's going on, in my opinion. Hey, 2-Bit, you're loud and clear in South Detroit. What's going on, bro? Welcome in. Either we've been in the bear for a year or we've been in the bull for 10. I love the people that think that we've just been in a really historic long bull market. I mean, arguably, you'd say we've been in the bull market since since the FTX collapse. But yeah, the whole concept of a really big macro bull market, I mean, technically is true because we've just been going up and to the right forever. But yeah, silver has only 3x. I mean, yeah, look, silver's probably a decent-ish bet against, you know, what's going on right now. Dave's in the build says getting batteries. I don't even know what that means. Oh, right. Okay, now I see what you mean. Right. So let's talk a little bit about the Federal Reserve minutes. I'm not going to go super crazy into this because there's quite a bit in it. And good for you guys. I did actually read a lot of this and I did kind of, you know, get a bit of a view as to kind of what's going on. A lot of us already know what was said. We know that the interest rate was cut by 25 basis points, taking us down to around 3.5. This was obviously the third reduction that we got in 2025. So the couple of things, the key things we want to think about, I guess, when we talk about Fed minutes is, what is the expectation of 2026? Because that is driving liquidity, right? Crypto, Bitcoin, it's driven by liquidity. We've been talking about that now for, you know, the longest time. Samsung needs a kilo of silver per battery per car. Wow. Yeah, it's insane. I still think it's manufactured, by the way, and I still think China are holding the reins on it, but that's my opinion. We touched on that yesterday. What was interesting, I think, with this, as you walk through it, is there was a view, and I'm going to skip to the bottom here because this is where it gets a bit interesting here, which was down here. So look, voting for this action. So these are all the people that voted for it. So, you know, potentially Christopher Waller could have become the new Fed chair, but these are all the people that voted. Here were the people that voted against. Stephen Miran, we always knew was going to vote for a double cup, so half a percentage point. But we also got Austin D. Goolsbee and Jeffrey R. Schmidt, who preferred no change to the target range for the federal funds rate at the meeting, which they've been pretty open about the fact that they weren't going to do it. So what you got then is a 9-3 vote. Essentially, you've got the majority voted yes. However, worth noting here, by the way, it's the highest level of dissent since 2019. Interesting. So some people wanted to keep it flat. I mean, you almost get that Goolsbee and Schmidt saying, hey, we want to keep it flat. Like we think we need to wait and see what's happening with the economy before we make any sort of rash decisions on it. And you have obviously Stephen Miran that's just like, yeah, let's slash rates, like cut them as quick as we can, which I think is worthwhile as well, right? But this does, however, give us a very interesting view that going into 2026, you're going to get a building dissent within the Federal Reserve. Trump himself saying today that he may still fire Jerome Powell. I don't think he's going to, but there's certainly an interesting decision on it, okay? So what else did we get in this that I think is important to look at when we come to the potential of a bull market cycle in 2026? So jobs obviously is the big deal. Now, we were meant to get ADP jobs report today. We didn't get it, which is a bit of a disappointment, but hey, we'll see kind of what that looks like. But they've essentially come out and said, no, we're not going to give you it. We know what this was. This was November's data. We should have got December's. They're basically saying, no, we're going to wait and we'll give you some data that's going to be coming in. I think it's like early January. We'll take a look at the calendar in a little bit. Too bad you look at Canton. It's interesting. I looked a little bit at it, not super detailed, but yeah, I definitely would. It's piqued my interest, Tim. Let's say that. Yeah, I think so. Tomato Pete as well. Hey, Tubit. I said that, didn't I? Really could go for a $10 XRP right now. Yes, same. And Deuce said, "Where XRP move? What's up, Tubit? What's going on, man? End user, what's going on, bro? I don't know why I've always called you end user, but end user. Mr. Slipper's more likely to fall to $1.12. Mr. Slipper's in the building. What's going on? XRP going to rally soon. You think in January? Maybe. Again, I don't think you can be specific on coins. I think you need to be specific on markets. Right, that's my view. What's with the 589? People believe it's like the Illuminati, like XRP big mover Schuber. So yeah, this is obviously going to be the big driver, right? We'll get jobs early on into January, which I think is going to be important, right? But we also believe that we're not going to see rate cuts too soon. In fact, that there is a lot of debate in here that they don't want to see it, right? They don't want to move in terms of the jobs market, right? Which is a little bit later down here. So the unemployment rate ticked up to 4.4% in September, continuing the gradual uptrend since the middle of the year. The average monthly pace of total payroll gains continued to be slower in the third quarter of the year. Other available labor market indicators such as initial claims for unemployment, issuance benefits, rates of jobs, blah, 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 measure of households and businesses, perceptions of balance between labor demand and supply were consistent with gradual cooling in the labor market conditions since September. This is the big thing the Fed's looking at, right? This is the big thing they're looking at. The employment cost index for total private sector labor comparison rose 3.5% over the 12 months ending in September, and average hourly earnings for employees increased 3.8% over the same time. So here is where you just need to look at a little bit more interesting. Trueflation, the real cost at 2.05% is actually coming down, right? This is the kind of interesting bit here. So you got US inflation coming down, but you've got a weakening labor market, as per said in here. You also got consumer price inflation, which they're saying is increasing, which is interesting as well. So yeah. What you've then got is a weakening jobs market with increasing costs. So this number here, I think, is going to be a really key number to keep an eye on. This will be in PCE. This will be in CPI. Like, these are the numbers that we're going to have to keep an eye on. Why? These are essentially going to tell us whether you have a stable economy that then people will be more inclined to go to risk. If you haven't got a stable economy, you've got super volatility, then people aren't going to go to risk. They're going to go and get 4% on treasury yields, right? And you can already see that's playing out. So again, that was kind of interesting to think about it. Now, we talked a little bit about the kind of whole GDP. Obviously, that was revised up 4.3%, which is kind of pretty interesting as well. But what is worth noting here as well is that commodities or conditions in the US short-term funding markets remained orderly, but were gradually tighter over the intermittent period. So they're saying monetary, policy needs to be reflective of this. So look, funding rates are essentially strict, tightening up. People have got less money to kind of mess around with. Over the intermittent period, the average level of reserve balance was 2.9 trillion, around 500 billion lower relative to the level of reserve balance. This is all to do with the repo debt. I'm not going to go too much into it. We've been talking about repo debt. Keep your eyes on it. It's telling us that there is restrictive liquidity in the market. How do you pump BTC? You need liquidity, right? So these are the couple of things that we're going to need to keep an eye on. How do you boost liquidity? You sell treasury yields, you bring rates down, you get, inflation come down as well. And this is going to be really, really important, right? Really important as this kind of walks through. Market participants did enter the meeting with an expectation of 25 basis points, but they don't believe right now we're going to see any further rate cuts. And I actually think when you look at the Fed expectations, we don't see that coming anytime soon, right? It is worth noting that it is not going to come quick, even if people want it to. And that is worth noting, by the way. So if I was to... man, what is going on here? I Have I deleted a? I think I've deleted a. I think I've deleted something which I didn't need to delete. Okay. I want to see this one. That's what I want to see. So if we were to take a look at where the CME is right now, then it is aligned to exactly what they're saying. 85% are saying no bueno when it comes to rate cuts in January. Look forward to March. It's 50-50 whether we get this. Now, by March, we'll have loads more jobs data and etc. as well. Worthwhile, thinking about. QE's a big one. Obviously, they don't talk about it, which is super interesting as well. They actually talk about, they talk about injecting, what do they say? They it's somewhere up here, like basically credit performance largely unchanged and delinquency rates for small businesses, commercial real estate and consumer looked elevated. So people are obviously liquidating, but they don't talk about it, right? They don't talk about it. They talk about GDP growth, unemployment rate and inflation as kind of the key three things to look out for. So these are going to be things that we'll keep an eye out personally as well, because I think this will be a certainly key thing. Other indicators such as weekly initial unemployment insurance claims and measure of jobs suggest more stability. These are the things we need to see. Several participants commented that lower income households were especially concerned about their employment prospects. You can just see like they ram the whole employment stuff down your neck. They're like jobs, unemployment, rate cut, like all of that kind of stuff, right? We're going to have to stay really, really close to it as well. Under appropriate monetary policy, the labour market likely would stabilise next year, but noted that the outlook for the labour market was still quite uncertain. They're not going to cut rates anytime soon, which isn't bad. But what you don't want is no rate cuts with a hawkish Fed. Now, obviously, Jerome Powell's going to come out of it, and it's probably going to end up being Kevin Hassett, which will essentially be way more dovish. You probably get pretty restrictive policy, but you're definitely going to get way more in terms of a dovish view of the Fed, which I think is important to reference that. And, the fact that they will be data-driven, which is kind of annoying, but the fact here is that they are going to take a look at it. They are signaling a cautious approach in 2026, waiting for clear economic data before adjusting policy, right? That essentially is where they're getting to. Now, I know what you're thinking. I've literally deleted an entire folder on my... on here, which is really quite annoying, actually. I'm not gonna lie. That is like super annoying that somehow I've managed to delete an entire folder. Like, did I just put it all in here? I think so. And that's like, oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. All right, I found it. Found it. Okay, so this is where we then need to understand, okay, well, what is it that we need to look for into 2026 that's going to tell us whether this is good news? So, stick these in your diaries so you've got them. So obviously we talked a little bit about ISM that's going to come in. Looking a little bit further, jobless claims comes in on the 8th of January, right? Stick this in, as well as non-farm payroll jobs. And, this is kind of where we start to get a little bit of interest as to what it comes in. This is all the jobs data is going to walk through, right? ADP employment change. Expectation is a 5,000 negative jobs coming in the 7th. So that's second week of January is where we're going to start to get some of this playing out. So this aligns to kind of some of the stuff we've been talking about, that maybe by the second week of January, we'll know whether 2026 is going to be bullish or not. All right. In my opinion, short term, that's kind of my view. So worthwhile noting as to kind of how this walks through. And obviously then we go into way more data as that kind of flows through. So by the, look at this, by the 13th of Jan, you'll have CPI, PPI, jobless claims. We'll also have unemployment data, like loads of stuff coming in, right? Loads and loads and loads of stuff. This will be where all of the prediction markets and the assumption as to what it looks like in 2026 is kind of where we're going to get to, all right? So, that's kind of my view. And outside of that, the Fed minutes were, what they are. Nothing really, super crazy. They will commit to continue to monitor the implication of income and information and economic outlook. So not going to do anything super crazy. It is going to be where it is, right? That's what it is. This is the big one here. Look, this, repo debt. They're definitely going to be all over this. That's what we need to look at. Overnight reserve repurchase agreement operations offering rate of 3.5, which is per counterparty limit of 160 billion a day. So when we talk about repo debt, understand that, Hector, I agree. The fact that this repo debt here at 3.75%, that's what the banks pay back on their repo announcement. So if they go and get 10 billion, they're paying 3.75, 335k on that number. Tim just absolutely dropping the gifted memberships. Holy crap, Tim, you're up to like 4. You're absolutely bullish right now. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. And again, everyone that's getting a gifted membership, say thanks to Tim. All right. That'd be great news. Okay. So that talks you through the Fed minutes, calendar, Fed rates. We've done that. Trueflation, we've done that. Let's talk a bit more charty stuff, and then we'll get into any of your questions and views. Call me Hecky. All right, no dramas, mate. But yeah, TikTok's been super quiet recently. I think it is on everyone's crypto channel. No one cares about crypto right now. But as Warren Buffett once said, the second best trader in history, when everyone is fearful of the markets, that is your time to be greedy. And look, I'm not saying go on, leverage a house and buy loads of crypto, but, certainly there are opportunities if you are willing to participate in them. That's what I would say. Let me just bring the price of Bitcoin back up just because I want to keep an eye on what's going on with it. We want to see a nice little move, hopefully, and close out above about 88,400. So that's what I'm looking for. Okay, right. A couple of key things to keep your eye out for. Stablecoin dominance is now a multi-year resistance low. What we don't want to see is stablecoin dominance going any higher. We need to see stablecoins coming down. Now, I talked about this yesterday that, yeah, it's everybody's channels. Yeah. Hector, I'm not buying anything. I'm just holding stablecoin right now. And, I'm trading a little bit, BITUNIX, link in the description, all that kind of good stuff. But as of actually just getting into stuff, not at the minute. I want to see a bit more from the markets. Let me just increase my brightness. I want to see a bit more from the market, really, to be honest. But that's not to say that I don't believe there's some deals out there, because there probably is. But I'm just going to wait and see. So it's things like this. Stablecoin dominance is currently, as high as it's been all year, which essentially means that there is stablecoin sat in the market and people are in stablecoin. They're not exiting the market, which should give you some confidence that 2026 may be all right. Someone actually commented on one of my posts today. This guy is a permabull and doesn't do anything negative because he wants clicks. My view, and, I can't be in a world where I'm staying in stablecoin. I'm waiting to see what happens. So, they've subsequently been yeeted from the channel. But hey, the important reference is here, not to break that above. Now, with all of that being said, what should we be looking at, aligned to sort of the Fed's view, but what should we be looking at to give us a bit of an indication as to maybe do the markets change? Well, retail money market funds record 2.25 trillion in November. This is skyrocketing. This essentially is retail money. Now, just so we're clear, by the way, I'm not telling you it's coming into the markets, because it's not, but the retail money market fund asset. So how much money is kind of flowing in and out of, the retail sector? What are they doing? Are they buying stocks? Are they buying bonds? Are they buying treasury yields? Well, it's surging right now as the money market funds are on track for their third consecutive annual surge. Money is here. This is the kind of thing, right? This is the thing that I think so many people are missing, and why I believe that we'll know within the first couple of weeks of what 2026 is going to shape out like, because the fact is that retail is going into treasury yields, bonds, silver, gold, stock markets. They're going into that. They're not coming into risk assets. Why? Think about it. We talked about this the other day. Why bother coming into the crypto market when you can go buy 1 month US Treasury and get 3.5% on it, right? Because you ain't going to get 3.5% on BTC right now. What would BTC have to move for 3.5%? Like 93K or something? Where are we at right now? 88. So 3.5%. 91.2. Do we think it's getting to that? Now, obviously, I know treasury yields are annualized over a year, but this is why you're not seeing it. No one gives a flying about cryptocurrency right now. Again, though, these are the best times, in my opinion, to accumulate. I'm not saying go buy everything, but, these are the times when people go, man, I can't believe you got Bitcoin at $88,000 and it's like 500 grand now. But these are some of the key things I think is worthwhile noting out. It started to feel like a 4-year cycle is over. Well, Oscari, we were talking about that. Essentially, within 2 days, we'll know that 4-year cycle is over. If Bitcoin prints a yearly candle that's red, it's over. Don't matter what people think. Don't matter what people say. Don't matter if people go, whoa, no, whoa, hold on a minute. Because it's nonsense. It will have broke the 4-year cycle, which tells us that it's different. Tim, what are you doing with another gifted membership? Thank you so much, Tim. Bullish on Tim, dropping 5 gifted. Wow. Love it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And again, Rick, welcome in. If any of you guys are in the Discord, let me know. Just type in the general chat. Don't answer DMs. It's not me DMing you guys. Type in the general chat. Hey, 2bit, it's me. I'm, John Sharks 5247 from YouTube, and I'll get you into the premium Discord. Enjoy it. Have a free trial for a month. See what you think. See if, see if it's worth it. See if it's worth the $5.50 a month, whatever it is. I think it's like a little bit more, like $6, something like that. Definitely worth it, in my opinion. I hear that. I've just been DCAing for the last year. Not a bad shout, John. And again, if you believe that, the long-term view of cryptocurrencies were going up, then you're probably going to be fine. So again, this is going to be interesting. Liquidity is here. It's just not in the crypto market. You can see it in silver. You saw it in gold. Like, the FOMO is there. We just need a reason for this to come in, which is why I talked about this yesterday. We cannot stomach another massive liquidation event. Like, we can't stomach it. People will totally just lose any sort of interest in the market. The other thing to think about, by the way, is we need to see this chill the F out. This is obviously Bitcoin ETF inflows and outflows. They keep dumping. Now, markets are pretty quiet right now. You can look at this. Total volume today, 4.19 billion. It was essentially outflows, though. You can correlate that to the wallets that we've tracked a few times here on the channel as well. So, you know, we want to just kind of, you want to see liquidity return to the market, and you want to see, you know, there be a reason for people to get into them. While you've got this like FOMO move on silver, no one cares about gold at the minute, do they? No one's going, oh my God, gold's going to the moon. Everyone cares about silver right now. You want to see that sentiment change to everyone cares about BTC, which I think will probably come with the Clarity Act. I think it probably comes with, you know, potentially a sort of big announcement, maybe from a bank, treasury company, even the Trump administration potentially would be an interesting one. So just to kind of give you a view here, but this is kind of where you see it. So BlackRock again dumped about $100 million 8 to 6 hours ago. Well, if you go back 6 hours on the chart, what do you see here? Look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It was the big wick down that caused this. So we can kind of, you know, decipher a little bit and say, well, this is kind of important to reference. And, you know, like I spoke about yesterday, that's kind of what my opinion was trading this market. Would I do the same for tomorrow? Don't know. We'll see. Interesting enough, though, look at this, 23 milli going back in. Well, about 50 million going back in 3 hours ago. So, you know, 1, 2, 3, that's interesting that we might actually start to see a little bit more push back in, maybe pushing into the Asian markets. But worthwhile, you know, keeping our eyes peeled on that one for sure. But this is kind of where we need to see what this does. And we need to kind of see it move. Good, right? That kind of gives a view of the markets, overall view of the markets as well. Why does it mean market is over if it prints a red candle? No. So the 4-year cycle, the assumption would be the 4-year cycle would be that it'd be over. Cryptovarius, what's going on, bro? Welcome in. Gold, silver, platinum, then copper, just like crypto metals also have been rotation by copper now. Yeah, we talked about the copper ratio before, actually, I think. Bitcoin is DED, do you think? I mean, it's not though, is it? Come on, it's 88,200. Like, it's not dead at all, but yeah. Does anyone know why the tax year starts and ends in April? Why would it not start in December to January? There must be a reason. I mean, we can probably find out for you. Hold on, let me ask ChatGPT. Why does the tax year run April to April and not January to February? January to February? What am I talking about? January to December. Oh my God. I'll find out. Does anyone know before I do it? Let's find out. In the UK, the tax year runs April to April rather than January to December, mainly because of history, not because of the most logical system today. So it's from the Julian calendar. Lady Day was a major date for paying rent, settling debts, and paying taxes. Essentially, it's historical. There you go. Answers that question. Welcome to the 2-Bit History channel. Let's get bullish on history. Okay. So I thought what would be worthwhile doing is, obviously we looked a little bit into the market, thus what is going on in terms of, you know, the economics, just because I guess headlines drive everything right now. And we don't normally do this. We kind of don't really get into too much. It just ends up being, I just slam loads of stuff down your necks. But you can see here, look, the interest rates could be on hold for some time. Fed minutes showing. We brought this down. You know, Fed minutes are important as well. What else have you got? Jobless claims fall again. Fed Wall, I think inflation will start to fall in the next 3 to 4 months and rates can come down at a moderate pace. He's flipped. Like, bear in mind, he was like, you know, 25 basis points. Bostic expects no rate cuts in 26, warns due to worries that the GOP tax bill might fuel inflation. So when is the official launch of the Big Beautiful Bill, by the way? When does that come in effect? Big Beautiful Bill in effect. When does that actually go live? There we go. Signed into law July 4. Does anyone know when it actually comes in? I assume is it just the start of the year? Why would tax cuts fuel inflation? What? I know you like a mystery and it was off the top though. Yeah, well, I mean, fair play. Stu, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. In the US, it runs like the current calendar. You just have to submit your... right, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Why is October the 10th month? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? It's already in effect. People just get their tax back. Oh, is it? Oh, right. All right, fair play. Oh, so it's all the tax breaks, is it? Is that kind of what it is that's going to come in? Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Casey, thanks for that, man. Appreciate it. What else going on? Any idea? Anything else? Why Jerome Powell was right all along about interest rates, inflation, the economy? Nah, get out of here, bro. That's not nice. The idea it could rally to solve America's affordability crisis. I mean, that's another big thing as well. Like, they get that in order, then, you know, consumer sentiment starts to go up. People feel a bit more bullish. Would all be good news, wouldn't it? Bitcoin is rallying a little bit. Nothing super crazy right now. Here's the hourly chart. We have been printing an ice cream candle since we went live, so bullish on that. Bullish on that. Daniel, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. My internet is atrocious. It keeps cutting me out of watching the live. Ah, it's all right, Fat Sonic. Don't worry about it. Bearded, yeah, I know. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Good. Good, good, good. Don't forget, by the way, if this is your first time here, consider subscribing to the channel. We'd appreciate that. Also, if you haven't already hit the like button, again, it does help us out, gets us out there. Likewise, if you're on TikTok as well, shout out to everybody tuning in on TikTok. Super quiet on social media, but hey, the real grind. These are the people that make a difference. You guys, as we head into 2026, which obviously is less than 48 hours away. Don't forget, I'm going to be live streaming tomorrow, New Year's Eve. It is going to be a New Year's Eve stream. It isn't going to be a party though. Again, just saying, but we'll be live New Year's Day as well. So not like throughout the day. I'm not doing like some sort of weird, super crazy stream, but we'll just be live as normal, breaking the markets down. Maybe we have, you know, maybe we have a drink with us tomorrow night. That'd be pretty nice, wouldn't it? We could celebrate 2025 coming to an end. What does 2026 look like? So join us, same time, same place as always. It's going to be super bullish. Hopefully we get some solid moves in the market. Low liquidity at the minute though. We want to sort of see a bit more of a move out there. So good. All right, let's close this down. We are. It's probably worth keeping an eye on what's going on with BlackRock actually. Yeah, it looks kind of interesting. Look at this. This is my buy zone here on BTC on BitUNix, and here was my sell zone. Look at that. Bash. Crushed it. Nice little 2.5% move on BTC. Yes, please, bro. I'll take that all day long. Baby Sham ready for tomorrow. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm down for it. I'm down for it. The 2026ers, that's what it's all about, baby. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. To be wearing his Elton John glasses and doing tons of giveaways. We do actually have something coming up for the members. Don't forget, I did talk about yesterday. We're doing it New Year's Day. All right. So if you're a member of the channel, make sure you're here New Year's Day. It's going to be worth it, in my opinion, especially if you are, you know, if you're into cryptocurrency. Let's say that you're like, hey, I really want to, you know, take a little bit more of what's going on and, you know, making sure that I'm really much dialed into the markets and I want to secure my cryptocurrency. Then for members, we'll be doing something on New Year's Day. So I highly recommend making sure that you are in. All right. You might just be able to secure your cryptocurrency in a little bit more detail. So get involved in that. All right. So if you remember, make sure you're here. It's going to be epic. Good. Good stuff indeed. Normal time, New Year's Day. Yeah, normal time. I mean, I might go live a little bit earlier, but yeah, 9 p.m. UK time, 4 p.m. Eastern, we'll be there and we'll be breaking it down. But yeah, if you remember, which means if you've got a green name, get there. All right, it's going to be bullish. What is that? Did you just throw a tomato at me, Vern? Oh, man. If you have a chance to use that new... Yeah, I have. Honestly, it's really nice. My review video comes out soon. So I actually have two. I don't know if I told you about this. So these are two different wallets. So this is the Elipali Titan 2, right? This is one wallet. This is another wallet, right? These are two separate wallets. So yeah, my review video comes out and yeah, I have both of those. So yeah, they're kind of cool. I like them. I like them. But yeah, so again, if you're a channel member, then get ready because, you know, you could also be getting a certain type. $80 they are as well, which is kind of bullish. But yeah, look out for that. And I like them. Like it's a nice, like, yeah, the Titan 2, like it's a good, I like it, by the way. Let me show you it dead quick. I mean, I'm sort of front running my own review here, but yeah, check this out. Like, look at that. That is a nice, like, that's a nice wallet. Hold on, let me yeah, look at that. Like touch screen, cold wallet. air bridge, so it never connects to the internet. Like, yeah, it's pretty nice in fairness. That is a pretty nice, comes with like a cool ass little stand and stuff. Yeah, it's like 170 bucks, I think, something like that. So yeah, anyway, that review's coming out like a bit later on. So I actually look forward to the video. I definitely think I need to upgrade to a new one. Yeah, and also, by the way, in that video, I just managed to get, if anyone was interested, by the way, I got a discount code as well. I don't actually know how much it is. Should we see? Let's just see if this works, actually. But yeah, I got a discount code as well. So I will put that in the description so you guys can use it. But yeah, it's pretty good news if you ask me. And I like it. I like it. Let me just see what you get with this thing. Even the minis are cool. Yeah, I do like it, Tim. It's like the first time I've really looked at it, and yeah, it was like, yeah, I like it. I like it. Let me see what you get with this code, by the way. Let's just take a quick look. Oops. What do you get? Oh, you get 10%. All right, that's kind of nice. Get a little 10% discount. Bullish on that, broski. Yeah, nice. All right, cool. You get 10% with that link as well, with that code. AIOZ. Oh, we haven't looked at AIOZ for ages. Ages. Yeah, let's bring that up, actually. It was actually doing really, really well, wasn't it? Down 3.5% though. Definitely taking a bit of a hit right now, but yeah, bro, what is that? What is that? Look at that on the macro. That's what I mean. If you're in altcoins right now, the only way surely is up. I mean, I'm not saying that that's a guarantee, by the way. Absolutely not. And you know, understand that that's not what I'm saying. But boy, like so many stuff is like way down. Way down. Billy says I use a Tandem Core wallet. Yeah, so I've got a Ledger S, but it's kind of nice. I just use Cake Wallet. Don't have cold storage. Well, John, make sure you're here on New Year's Day because that might be about to change. I'm more focused on stocks right now, but I'm still buying small amounts of crypto. Yeah, look, a crypto various, I don't think that's a bad idea, in fairness. I personally aren't. I think I've said that to a number of people. I am solely in stable. Well, I'm not actually. I'm still holding a decent proportion of my portfolio in top alts, so Ethereum or all that kind of thing. But yeah, I actually have another video coming as well. Look at this, holding for now. Look how cool that thumbnail is, man. I've been crushing the thumbnails today. Just FYI. All right. Making it happen right now. If you need a thumbnail, the only thing is I look a little bit like I've got too many freckles on that, but hey, don't matter. Don't matter. Do you need to get yourself a core wallet? Yeah, it all depends what you have. Like if you've got like 500 bucks, it's just not the end of the world, right? But if you're holding, if you're into sort of 4, 5, basically if you've got an amount of money that you wouldn't want to lose, I think you should absolutely have a core wallet. So yeah, but yeah, we'll do that New Year's Day. Make sure you're here. It's going to be epic. I like new coins. They move up. You can short them down after they get overbought. That's actually true. That's actually really true. If this market is over, yeah. But look, I mean, where would I be right now? I'm way more on the side that I think 2026 has got more upside potential than downside potential. That would be my view, by the way. I think we're more likely to have a bullish market than a bearish market in 2026. What time is the close of the year? Well, it'll be midnight on the 31st. What? So tomorrow night, midnight. Essentially, you can do it if you just bring it here. Look, 12 months. So we've got 1 day and 3 hours left for the close. So we need to be at 96,000. So we could get the most insane move tomorrow, but I think it's unlikely. I think it's unlikely. Even if you have 500, get a core wallet. Yeah, Beardy knows what's up. If I had 500k in crypto, would you advise getting a wallet? Yes, Mouse. I would absolutely, definitely. I'd get a couple. I would definitely get a couple. Use code 2BitCrypto. Get 10%. Yeah, I would get a couple, bro. If you've got that, then yeah, you definitely want to get a couple. Good. Charts don't care about your feelings or life goals. RPM, that's very true, by the way. I think charts are only a way of giving you a view as to what's coming. I think you still have to look at more macro stuff. If you've got the charts could be telling you you're about to print and you could be in a recession, don't mean it's going to print. Like, you've got to be sensible, haven't you? I think so many people overlook that. So many people hyper focus on charts. Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? What's the setup looking like? I mean, you would argue right now albeit we've got a decent-ish move today, this is still consolidating. If we break above the 20-day exponential moving average, which I said earlier on, I want to see us break 88,400. That would be good news. That would be a good close. Then we want to say, well, we need to break the 89 barrier, this key, this downward sloping trend line here. That's what we need to break. The break is still on, by the way, from the all-time high push down. Like, this is still on. This structure feels very bullish. So hopefully we can continue to push this up, break above here around 89,000. Good. So you can go to Ledger, basically check the description out, or you go to I think it's elipple.com and use code 2BitCrypto and you're going to get 10% off. So yeah, look at those wicks up. Yeah, exactly, Foz. Yeah, this is, I mean, it's super well, I wouldn't say it's super manipulated, but it's definitely stuff going on here. But yeah, the market feels like it wants to break out, in my opinion. The risk is always going to be, though, what comes back down. And I think that's kind of where we want to get to. But yeah. But yeah, Mouse, if you go to elipple.com, that's the wallets I have there. I've got a video coming out about and use code 2BitCrypto. It's going to get you 10% off as well, which is kind of nice. Your crypto is safe on top exchanges that spend billions on security. Well, yeah, but it's not yours, is it? Look at like Coinbase. The trouble you've got when it's on exchanges is they can stop trading, which isn't great. So that's what you've got to be careful of. XRP, Sol, Ethereum, some link. That's basically all I focus on. I like some of the others, but I think have more time to get into those. Not a fan of BTC. Would rather have metals for store value. Yeah, my kids have more BTC than I do. The setup is looking like stocks before regs. We will likely repeat the cycle. Yeah, well, I mean, look, a lot of people think that could be the case into 2026, and like I'm down for it. And there's a lot of macro that tells us that we should be in good news. Think about it. If Bitcoin is driven by liquidity, then, you know, we absolutely we would know we're going to get that into 2026. So I don't know if we can see, I don't think we can see liquidity. We can see money, United States money supply. Now, it's difficult to see it really here, but you essentially can kind of see where this has been playing out. I think you have to look at it on a bit more of a, a bit more of a kind of view, so a macro standpoint right now, we are still pretty aligned to the US monetary, money printing. So if we were to get money printing, which is what we all talk about, then you, in theory, would see a push on BTC. Like that would certainly play out where we've been, which whether we get it. I think the Fed has to at some point, and I think you'll get it with the new Federal Reserve chair as well, personally. So I think if Kevin Hassett comes in, he's gonna, he will do what Trump asked him to do. Trust Wallet, Robinhood are just a couple of exchanges that are famous for closing down your accounts. But yeah, I mean, loads of them are. Just got to be careful, haven't you? Don't order it off Temu. Yeah, definitely don't know. I agree, 2-bit up in 2026. Yeah, I mean, I hope so. Right now, lots of data suggests that 2026 should be a good run. As we've heard before, we will know by the end of probably February that whether it's all going to play out, because the data will suggest that we are going to see easing monetary policy. We'll see that liquidity is going to flow to the market. We probably will see some level of rotation out of general stocks and commodities into potential risk on. You need to see risk on appetite. That's going to drive markets. How do you give your kids crypto? I've been thinking of saving some for mine. Just don't really get how you could put them in there. You can't really. So all I've done is I've got 3 wallets that I have the wallet addresses for. And then I just put some in there every week. So I have like my own wallet and I put it in. So like, XRP, bit of Bitcoin, Ethereum, like it just all goes into that wallet, but each kid has a separate wallet and I just store it in there. So it's as rudimental as it sounds. But my view was, and I'll tell you where it was born out of, by the way. We got our kids' bank accounts, right? We got them like, I don't know what they're called, but we got them kids' bank accounts. And it's all in the kids' names. And me and my missus put money into those accounts every single month. It turns out, though, you have no access to those accounts. So let's say you come upon hard times. Let's say, like, I don't know, something happens in the house. I need to get a new car, whatever it is, right? I can't access that money. Like, I can't access it. It's ridiculous. Like, the only people that can access those kids' funds are the kids when they turn 18. So I was like, right, stop paying into that. Let's pay into a crypto wallet. That'll be a better idea. And if we do need it, like, we need it. Like, I mean, it's ridiculous that we could lose our house because we can't get access to the kids' money. Like, and it's insane. They're my kids. It's my money. So yeah, that paper wallet is cool and free. Yeah, I like the paper wallet. I like it. But yeah, that's essentially all I do. So you can do it with like a Ledger S, or you can do it with any sort of just standard wallet that you've got. Even even just a standard paper wallet. Like, as long as you got the seed phrases, it's fine. But yeah. Yeah, Daniel, I did look into it. Yeah, I did not in any sort of super detail, if I'm honest. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting. It's definitely something that piqued my Definitely something that's piqued my interest. I mean, it's up another 10% today, which is kind of wild. And yeah, certainly feels like it's gaining momentum. I said this the other day, didn't I? That a $5.3 billion market cap is going to be a real, real challenge to see some significant growth. But hey, at the same time, it is a pretty interesting project. I'm not going to lie. That this whole like capital markets idea, which why I was talking about this on XRPL, in fairness, that, could certainly be an interesting thing that they've got. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I didn't go too much into it, but it's pretty big. It's not a small network as well, which I think is important. And I think there's a lot of people on here, a lot of companies that are certainly looking into it. Lots of traditional banks that are already starting to get involved and starting to look at it. So yeah, a $5.3 billion market cap though, you're like, right, okay. I needed to get in down here when it was at like, way lower than it is right now, when it had an extra zero. I never leave on exchange. Had 1,100 on exchange. It went belly up and received 200 after a year or so. Yeah, I mean, look at Mount Gox. That was kind of the big one, wasn't it? That was a big one. Go Chili's in the green. Fairground. Go. I use Tangum. Nice, Casey. Yeah. Yeah. Good shout. Good shout. Bullish on those things. Sidecoin. What's going on, Alvin? Good to see you, buddy. Welcome in. Welcome. Do we need to have a space between bull market? Maybe we do. There we go. Did you check out what has been blabbing about? I didn't, Alvin, in fairness. I haven't a chance. I did try and look at it. Obviously, I don't know if I told you guys this, but I'm editing my own videos now. So I edit my own videos. So all the videos you see that go on the channel, it's me that's edited them. So I literally end up working till like gone 2 in the morning. Like I need to chill out a little bit. Like the edits are way longer than they need to be. But I finished the live stream, go and have about half an hour with my missus, come back in here and then literally record the videos and then yeah, edit them all, ready to kind of go out today. But yeah, it's very time consuming and takes a lot of my time up. But yeah, I need to probably chill out on that a little bit. But hey, they're worth it. People are engaging with them. Viewers are up. So that's all that matters. Hey, brother, have you heard of Elixir? What's your thoughts? Have I heard of that? Elixir. Have I heard of it? Elixir. Is it a DeFi? Is it DeFi? I didn't mean to do Dex Screener. Imagine if you woke up tomorrow and XRP was $104.50 a coin. I mean, it'd be great news. I don't think I'll be going to work. Like, hey, boss, it's me. It's 2-bit. And he'd be like, what? I'll be like, it's 2-bit. And he'll be like, who the hell is 2-bit? And I'll go, me, because I'm not coming to work. Yeah, is it this Elixir? Am I just tripping right now? Is it ELIXIR? Oh, there we go. Found it. Found it. What do I think of this? What do I think of it? Trash can, bro. Trash can. It's 2-bit from the YouTube. Yeah, I saw you posted that on is it Jake Claver's Twitter? I couldn't help myself, in fairness. I couldn't help myself. Yeah, I mean, I just wouldn't touch this at all, by the way. It looks terrible. Just my opinion. It's just, so it's on a few exchanges, all on Gate.io, but yeah, I mean, that just looks like an awful chart, in my opinion. Derek, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. Good to see you, bud. Yeah, I said that, didn't I? London one, not much really. We talked a little bit about BTC. We talked about the Federal Reserve minutes that were pretty interesting, in fairness. Didn't give us the most bullish of outlooks for 2026 at the minute, but I think they'll be cautious. I think Kevin Hassett's what's going to be the big potential. We don't know if he's actually going to get the Federal Reserve job yet, but that's kind of where I'm looking at right now as to whether we get that. We get kind of Kevin Hassett in or not, but worth thinking about. But that's about as far as we got, really. Which I know feels ridiculous because we've been live for like nearly an hour, but obviously we sort of talked about some chart analysis as well. But I guess the debate will be what do we expect to come? Let's say we haven't looked at the pre-market yet, so we can take a look at that. Obviously, the market data will look pretty interesting that we sort of touched on, but yeah, not a lot going on, Mondo. Not a lot really. It's a pretty quiet. It's a pretty low low volume kind of day. So if we take a look at the pre-markets, interesting enough, they look very different to yesterday's picture. So the US Dow looks like it's going to be up, as does the S&P 500, as does the NASDAQ, and as does the Russell. Interesting. Russell is generally a better indicator as to where market's going to go. Where's Hong Kong going to look like? So the Hong Kong Stock Exchange up. This would be aligned to the same sort of what we got yesterday. The Nikkei looks like it's going to be down a little bit. The STI up. So yeah, Asia may kind of buy this market. Like, that would be kind of nice. Look at Europe. Like, Europe looks like it's going to buy. Man, we might get a good day into 2026 tomorrow. Silver looks like it's going to skyrocket even further, which is insane. And the VIX volatility is actually just up a tiny, tiny bit. So yeah, I think we might be in for a reasonably good day tomorrow. It looks like it is. Oh, certainly on pre-market data. We don't have a lot of, there's not a lot of macro going on. There's not a lot of data that's going to tell us that it's going to be bad news. Like, we shouldn't get any of that. It's early into January we're going to get it. So yeah, I think if we can close this market right now, let's go into the 30-minute. This might be a little bit more interesting to sort of see where we are playing. Look at this chart, by the way. It's wild. If we close above the 20-day exponential moving average at about 88,400, I could see us definitely start to wick back up again. You could sort of see this, if sort of play out on a way smaller time scale, potentially by US market open, retesting this upper range. Potentially we see that. This is obviously Monday, the sort of silver concern, banks collapsing, all that kind of nonsense. We sort of had this. So, if we sort of play out the similar sort of pattern, then yeah, we could sort of see something like this. So top to top, where was that? Just as an example. So top to bottom ended up being, about 21 hours. So, if you said, well, the same sort of play out would come in. Yeah, you're looking at like US markets, aren't you? So half 5, 21. Yeah, you're pretty much bang on the money for US Open. So yeah, we could definitely see something like that. Retest this upper range here, which if we break this, then like we said earlier on the stream, like could be good news. So watch out for this. I think we could definitely see a bit of a push into the Asian markets. And then we could see that. The 20-day exponential is what we need to see though. You can see here, when we break above it, so we broke above, retested, and then pushed to new highs. So a break above, retest into the late hours, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning for me, and then maybe a push back to the upside. That could be good news, actually. Total market, 295. Let's look at that on the daily. Again, we're holding this trend. Look at this line here. This line is playing out pretty much on the money. You can tell it's super low, though. Look at RSI trending basically next to nothing. The Dollar Dior, what's going on, buddy? I have a question. Hey, hit me up with questions. Feel free. If you got any questions, by the way, feel free to ask them. I'll try and answer them the best I can. All right. So, yeah. Do you have to be a member of your exclusive group that you pay $11 a month for New Year's information you have? It's not information. And no, Stanton, you can just be a channel member. It's like $6. If you become a channel member on YouTube, it's literally like $6. And you just need to have that to be in with an opportunity to be part of what we're going to do on New Year's, all right? So it's dead easy to do it. You click on the channel, you go to the channel, and you just become a channel member. That gives you access to our premium Discord. So you come here, you click join. It's like, yes, it's like, I mean, this is UK money, but yeah, it's like $6. Crypto Bull, you get, all this kind of cool stuff. That is kind of what we'll do on the Monday. So, but yeah, it's like $6. But there's an ad going around that says that. Says what? My Lambo gonna be paying off 2 small rentals, be gonna buy bumpy ride. Yeah, no, tell me about it. Tell me about it. You think it's strong cycle to be in at the moment? No. I would wait. I'd wait for a couple of weeks into January, personally. A couple of weeks into January will tell us what's going on, in my view. What do you mean, Tim? There's an ad going around. I don't know what you mean. So, yeah, TJ, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. Members only $11.99 with your picture. Where? What? Where have you seen that? Oh, is it so we have a WAP group. There's a WAP group that you get in, which gets you a few of the little bits and pieces. If you go through the WAP link. I assume you mean that. Which will all play out in 2026. Like I said, we're trying to sort of build out this whole Discord scenario. Like 2026 again. We'll do the bingo card tomorrow, where yeah, you kind of get certain bits, and I want to kind of re-streamline stuff and sort of do all that kind of stuff, but basically make it worthwhile, right? Basically make it worthwhile. 2026, I want to transition from my 9-to-5 job to do this full time, right? And in order to do that, it can't just be reliant on views on the channel. For example, TikTok right now, we've got 5 people watching. 5! That's it. I mean, we're like 125 here on YouTube, but 5 people are here on TikTok. Yes, XRP, bullish on XRP. You should check out my content on YouTube or join the Discord. It's totally free to do so, by the way. But yeah, 2026 is the year where we are transitioning from the 9-to-5 so I can do this, which then we'll start to do like, you know, Discord live streams, you know, way more stuff. At the minute, my time is, I just can't, there's just not enough time in the day to do stuff. But I want to make sure that, you know, I've reached out to a few people that I think do really good technical analysis to start to put in a summary. I've started to work some AI groups to kind of bring some sort of just generalized market updates as to what's going on and certainly what is worthwhile looking at that we'll then start to post in the group. Like basically sort of stuff to support you in your journey and support me in my journey as well. That's kind of what we want to do, really. And hopefully we can make it work. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. I don't know. I hope so. We'll see. We will see. Bullish January. I mean, look, I think there is an argument to say that January could be bullish. Yeah. I think we'll know within the first 2 weeks of it. That's my view, by the way. I don't think you can necessarily just be like January the 1st, then everything's going to be skyrocketing. You'll have relatively low liquidity. We obviously are going to go into the weekend as well. So we get Thursday, it's going to be a nothing burger. Friday, we might get a little bit. And you know, third then is the weekend. So yeah. Get a legit LED video wall behind you for charts and stuff. A video wall? What do you mean? 37! What's going on, bro? Good evening, 2-Bit. Been lurking in the background. Had a quiet Christmas. Locked phone in a drawer. No crypto, just quiet time. Nice, man. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. What do you mean? Like a big thing like back here? Like all sorts of like cool stuff behind? Yeah. I do want to redo this. In fact, me and my missus were talking about we want to put her out in the garden and build her like a little office out there. And then we're going to turn this into a full-on YouTube streaming room where, yeah, I'll get like... We'll get it kitted out properly rather than where it is at the minute. It's one of those things, isn't it? Like, you don't want to spend loads of money if you don't know you're going to do it. But I think if I'm serious about 2026, then yeah, we need to make it happen. Oh, you mean like a full-on desk and like video? Yeah, I mean, they probably can, but I think we could definitely set this up a little bit differently for sure. 80-inch TV monitor. I mean, I could put a TV monitor behind for sure. And get some stuff. The other thing we'll do is we'll do way more live streams and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Like, I'll literally treat it like a proper job. Trust me. It won't be like jump on for an hour at night. I'll be absolutely grinding to the max. But yeah, I need a new PC first. That's definitely what's on the list. Okay, Zebeck. Someone asked me about Zebeck in the chat. Let's bring it up. 2.48% up on the day, which is good news, actually. Interesting. Look at this line. We talked about this yesterday. Oh my gosh. Look how crazy that is. Look how crazy this is. We literally talked about this line. So Zebeck line right now, we have set at 202350. Look how perfect that bounce is, bro. Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? Man, we called that yesterday. We literally said, look out for that Zebeck bounce. Need a video. I literally just got rid of my, well, I didn't get rid of my video editor. I just thought that they were a bit like, it just wasn't value for money. And yeah. Mate, I would genuinely love someone to just edit my content, but they're expensive. And I think while ever, you know, by the way, I am putting money back into it. We just need to kind of make sure it is. In my opinion, I think it would be good upgrade for you to get a second camera for a different angle to switch to. So I do have a second camera. We've done that before, actually. We had it up here. So I do want to upgrade my camera. I think that's definitely something that I need to get. Yeah. Sorry, I'm jumping around. Zebeck, interesting bounce. It needs to hold... I mean, look, it needs to probably break 2523 for the confirmation to the break for the upside. If it breaks that, then yeah. But look at this volume coming on in Zebeck. Wow, that's a nice little move, actually. Centilox is on an uptrend. Oh, is it? Oh, we had that on the charts, actually. I was going to look at that. The Sentinel thing. Where's it at right now? Oh, yeah, it's kind of up. So is Bits, by the way, up 18%, which is kind of been crazy. But, man, yeah, did the bottom come in for this? I mean, could be. Yeah, I mean, interesting. That's what XCL did as well, and just bounced from this lower range, didn't it? Was the bottom in? Man, it went down to 7-1. That's wild. That is wild. Yeah, so I do have another camera. It's here somewhere. But that's what it's like. It's another 1920 HD camera. But yeah, I need to. Yeah, see, I don't know where like a camera angle here would be kind of good. Silver. I mean, I'm not really into. I don't trade metals, but I mean, I still believe it's a manufactured pump. People think I'm crazy, but I think it's a manufactured pump. But yeah. Spent Xmas on the VR, lost and oh, nice 37. Yeah, maybe you need to do that. But yeah, one cam from front, one from the side, and one over your shoulder. Man, how many cameras do you think I'm going to get, FJ? Like, just get like 20 cameras. I mean, I definitely could put another camera in. That's why I need to upgrade that, though. Because, I mean, is this angle good? I don't know if this angle's good. Yeah, I've said that as well. Yeah, I want to, yeah, absolutely. Like, get people in. We can do, like, Discord lives and all that kind of stuff as well. I want to sort of do that. Again, a lot of it is reliant on me not doing a 9-to-5 job, though, which I know sounds crazy and probably sounds a little bit like, oh, well, woe is me for having to do a normal 9-to-5. But I genuinely, if I told you like my day today, I had to be up because I had to meet someone in my normal job. So I was up at 6:30 this morning. Well, let me go back to, I finished the live stream last night, go and spend like 45 minutes with my missus, come back in here, record 3 videos, edit all 3 of them. It was like 2:20 in the morning, done. Went to bed at 2:20, got up at 6:30. Drove like 100 miles to go meet somebody, did my normal job all the way through to, I got in the house back at 4:30, did tea, kids, put them to bed at 7:30, 7:45, prep for the live stream, live at 9 o'clock. Like, that's literally my day to day. That is my day. So, you know, if I want to get into like Discord lives, all of that stuff, yeah, I need to either scale back my normal 9-to-5 or like actually like, yeah, do this full time. The silver pullback was manufactured, but the pump is something else entirely. So many factors that play outside of standard trade. Yeah, I agree. The biggest one I think that has been, I'm going to say manipulated because it's it's a word that's just used loads, but is maybe being manufactured is the fact that China are holding on to the loads of the supply. Man, BTC is going to break this 20-day exponential moving average. Let's go. Silver right now is 76.21 right now. How about a co-partner to do the analysis? Gordon the Gopher is out of work, just saying. Who the hell is Gordon the Gopher? I would be, by the way, I'm going to post something in the Discord. So I would love someone to do like daily TA or certainly do like every couple of days with a full market review on a weekend. That would be paid. And the other thing I want to do as well is we'll start to offer a bit of a commission, I think. Which will align the WOP group a little bit more to you guys being able to kind of earn a little bit on the back of it as well, which would be great. Crackerjack, I can definitely see that. I think it'll be interesting to see where it goes to, especially if you look at where gold is and the ratio comparison. What do I think about BitTensor? Have you seen they've filed for an ETF? There's a BitTensor ETF coming that's been filed today. Like, yeah, I mean, could be crazy. I don't know the prices right now, but yeah, they filed for an ETF. It's wild. And I think I think you can say, yes, we'll see an alt season in 2026 if we get a Bitcoin run in the early part of it. So if we see BTC start to rally back above those key levels, 98,101, break above those, then yeah, March, April could see an alt season. Could. I'm not saying it definitely could, but could see one. But yeah, BitTensor ETF coming soon. It's kind of wild. I think that would open up the door, by the way, for all sorts of crazy stuff. But yeah, I'm down for it. You are the only person I know of that may work harder, more hours than Donald Trump. Well, I mean, the thing is, and this is probably where I get to a little bit, I need to switch the mentality. Like, I love doing this, by the way. I love it. It's like, I don't see this as work. I love sitting with you guys, walking through markets, trying to understand what we're going to do next. What's the play? How do we trade these markets? Yeah, like, I love it, right? Love it. I'd love it way more. And I think there could be so much more value added if I could just do it full time. But it has to work. You know, I've got 3 kids, I've got a missus, I've got a life, you know, all that kind of stuff. But man, I would love to do this full time for sure. So again, that's why I'm kind of thinking way more business minded. We need to kind of have someone that does chart analysis, right? And that'll be paid, right? So I'm not going to say we're going to be paying $50,000 a year because we can't, but you know, we'll certainly be doing the right thing and making sure people are out of pocket. So yeah, are you DCAing now? Not at the minute. I'm sat in Stablecoin and I'm waiting to see what happens. That's my play right now. I want to see some more confirmation on charts. I want to see some more confirmation in terms of what the market's doing, what the market's structuring like, etc., etc., etc. Before I would do anything that's like super crazy. All right, in my opinion. But I do think the market will move pretty quickly, and I do therefore think that it's worth being ready. Is my view. So, man, welcome into those joining the Discord. I'm watching you. GH, welcome in. Good to see you, man. And yeah, we got a couple of other people that have joined in there as well. So hopefully you guys are in the live. If you just joined, give us a thumbs up. Bullish on you guys. Obviously, we keep an eye on who's in our Discord as well. If you are interested, links in the description. It is free to join. Not many people say that. Obviously, we have got some, we've got a couple of other bits. If you want to get access to our premium Discord where you've got, chart requests that do TA for you, as well as our learn to trade guides, VC opportunities, much, much more. Become a channel member. Easy to find. Head down to the bottom of the screen, click the join button, and get a TV channel. Let's do it. We'll be lost without you. It's like a group therapy. Yeah, I agree, 37, man. I love it. He has kids. We all try to find ways to escape our kids. Yeah, put them to bed and run off. That's the plan. That is the plan. Good. All right. Well, look, Bitcoin looking interesting right now. Let's take a quick look at this on the 15-minute, bro. We got some nice candles here. Some nice candles. Volume is low though, so understand that. Let's really quickly before we get up and out of here. Let's take a look at. Let's take a look at this. And is this going to give us it all? Oh, please tell me it's going to give us it all. Bullish. Yes. This is what I need to see. Right. Let's bring this mother trucker up. So let's take a look at the order books now for BTC. We want to do it on, what is the new version? Oh, nice. Look at this. Great. So let's take a look at spot markets, which will be pretty quiet right now. So let's take a look and see what is there where we've got some of these kind of big lines. So look at this. Massive wall of sell pressure at $90,000. All right. So, that kind of gives you an idea as where markets are right now. 88.5 is again a pretty big wall there on sell pressure. So, 88.5 break would be good news because actually look at this. So 125 BTC is at a sell wall at 88,500. You then kind of don't get a lot of pressure. Like we could see this rapidly move to 90K quite easily if we were to break, if we were to break through that sell wall. Likewise, what have we got to the downside? Big wall at 88,200. So that shows us we've got a good bit of support coming in now at this range. So again, you can see this volatility here. Where's 88,200? A 50-day exponential moving out, a 20-day exponential moving average. Interesting. So that'll be good on spot. Let's take a quick look at futures, and that'll give us an indication of where we could see. So a lot of so look at this. So a big liquidity zone right now, sitting between around 88,400 and 89,000. So this will take some doing to break through. By the way, lots of liquidity sat there. Big liquidity at 90K on sells. Probably more demand on buy pressure to the downside. So people are expecting some significant volatility right now. But yeah, pretty interesting, actually. Pretty interesting. Let's take a quick look at Ethereum and what Ethereum's got right now. So where have we got some buy pressure on ETH? Man, look at ETH. ETH's just going to be like a stable coin, isn't it, for a while? Like, this isn't going to do much at all. Really isn't. Look at this. Look at this channel that it's trending at right now. That's wild. Like, what have you got as a range here? Just as an example. Not a lot. Not a lot. What are you trading between? Like 1% max. Oh, man. Really hard to say what to expect next year. And damn, time flies. Yeah, I mean, oh my God, it's 10:15. Start a 24-hour crypto news channel on YouTube. Let's do it, FJ. Each influencer takes 2 hours slot. I once got asked to do something like that. I can't remember what the channel was. RPM says I expect better than 2025 or else. I think we could do. Technically, 2025 will end up being a bearish year for cryptocurrency, which is insane. But yeah, ETH trading pretty interesting right now. So definitely one to keep an eye out for. Are we going to see a move upside? It feels like it. All right. It feels like it in the short term. Gosh, look at that. Nice little move on BTC. Just wipes out some move there right now. Interesting. Oh, application errors occurred. Get out of here, bro. Come on. Markets are moving, bro. We need to know what's going on. Yeah, so look at that. We just took 50 Bitcoin out of 88,000. It's 600. Wow. Yeah, look at this. Volume coming in. We can minimum order size. Let's do 50. Let's do 50K. So yeah, these are kind of some of the buys coming in right now. So we must have had some, yeah, look at that, 106K buy at 88,460. So nice. Couple of decent buys coming in right now. But yeah, we just wiped out a good chunk, 95K buy coming in. Yeah, markets are trying to push a little bit. Good news. I think Asia's going to push this market. I don't think it's going to be insane. Again, breakout above 89,000. That's the one to stick on your calendar. And let's see where we get to. It's made considerably how it started. It was flat. Yeah, I mean, that's true as well. Yeah, we were at like 90, 90,000 at that time. So, yeah, good news. Good news. Okay, right. Keep your eye on BTC. By the way, if you want to trade these markets, check out BITUNIX. Link in the description or join my Discord. It's free. Link is over there as well. So, again, you can get over there, get some news, sign-up bonus, as well as some of the most insane opportunities there is. So, yeah. It's May. We said that, didn't we? So yeah, let's keep an eye on it. But yeah, BTC right now is trying to rally, and well, spot markets look like they are, moving back a little bit. Look at this, 107 now at 88,600. So I think if we can break this 88, if we break this sell wall here, it could be interesting. Could be interesting. What are your price targets for Flare this coming year, man? I don't even know. I mean, I like Flare, by the way. I do like Flare. I like the fact that you can leverage XRP against it as well. Let's take a quick look, by the way. Flare network, yeah. And then I need to be out of here. Habits are disappointed with Jasmine this time. Yeah, I am as well. But they still have a product and it's still usable. So that's kind of where I sit a little bit. Where do I think Flare could go? I mean, look, I mean, Flare is at the bottom right now. And what I would say with Flare, by the way, they're building loads of good stuff out. So, Flare is as low as you could probably argue it's going to get. So, I mean, yeah, you could definitely see a rally on Flare. You want to see this probably push back up, maybe a break above, 1 cent for. Could be good news. Could be good news. But, Flare technically, if you were playing these markets from a world of what is the potential upside versus downside risk, well, Flare, you'd say, is very much a favorable upside risk versus downside risk because it's at the bottom. So, yeah, Flare might not be a bad shout in fairness. I actually have a video coming out for you guys on New Year's Day as well. The top altcoins for 2026. So look out for that one. That's going to be good news as well. Like I said, I've been messing around with some thumbnails today. I do still have a thumbnail artist. But yeah, good news, all right? Good news. Okay, everybody. That does bring us to the end of the show as always. If you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button. If you enjoy this type of content as well, don't forget I'm live streaming every day of the week with the exception of Saturday. So 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UK, as well as putting my content out. 11:30 a.m. UK time is when my, my Bitcoin, my, macroeconomic video goes out. Altcoin video comes out about 4:40 UK time in the afternoon. Look out for both of those. Always appreciate it if you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop in a comment, all of that. It does help out. And then tomorrow night, obviously, New Year's Eve stream. Come. It's going to be good. We'll have some fun. It's going to be good. And then obviously channel members, look out for that New Year's Day stream. We will be streaming anyway. For New Year's Day, but like I say, we'll just do a little bit of a member stream and then we'll get into the main stream. So if you want to be a channel member, head down to the bottom of the screen, like it's stacked down here somewhere. Click the join button. It's going to cost you about £6 a month. Definitely worth it. Also, you can subscribe here on TikTok as well. But until tomorrow, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. And we'll be back, as always, tomorrow with the latest and greatest in cryptocurrency. Until then, have a great day. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.